President Yoon Suk-yeol is back in Seoul on Friday, having wrapped up his busy diplomatic schedule in Madrid. On his way back home, he told reporters that he and his counterparts from Washington and Tokyo have agreed on military security cooperation. Yoon Jung-min reports.
Three countries shore up security cooperation against North Korea's nuclear programs. Having met U.S. President Joe Biden and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida for a three-way meeting on the sidelines of the NATO summit this week, South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol signaled on his way back home moves towards trilateral security cooperation, part of which involves the military.
그리고 북핵 대응을 위해서 상당 기간 동안 중단됐던 어떤 군사적인 안보 협력 이런 부분들이 다시 재개가 되는 것이 바람직하다는 그런 원칙론에 저희가 합치를 봤다고 할 수 있습니다.
He added that at the NATO meeting, world leaders focused much on the war in Ukraine and North Korea's nuclear programs, and there have been calls for stern responses to the nuclear threat. When asked, he again dismissed concerns about a potential backlash from China over South Korea joining the summit.
어느 특정 국가를 배제하거나 이렇게 하는 것이 아니고 우리 국내에서든 또 국제 관계에서든 간에 우리가 보편적으로 추구해야 하는 가치와 국내 사회 규범이든 국제 관계에 있어서의 규범이든 다 함께 지켜야 되는.
On the Seoul-Tokyo relationship strained over historical issues, the president said the two nations should discuss pending issues and future-oriented cooperation all together at the same time. Much of Yoon's NATO trip also centered on economic security, exports, and arms sales. Promoting South Korea's nuclear energy to European leaders, whom he said were interested in nuclear power because of their carbon neutrality goals and the energy crisis triggered by the Ukraine war, this is how Yoon appealed to them.
그리고 저는 이렇게 설명했습니다. 우리 한국 원전이 세계에서 가장 값싸고 가장 안전하고 그리고 가장 신속하게 빠른 시일 내에 시공을 완료할 수 있다.
And not just that, the South Korean leader also asked them to support the country's bid to host the 2030 World Expo in the southern port city of Busan. Having wrapped up his three-day stay in Spain, President Yoon returned home on Friday. Yoon Jung-min, Arirang News.